Hi, thanks for joining us on our Wednesday program. TNT whipping around Thailand with thanks to 5-Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com for a bespoke private charter tour around any of the beautiful islands and locations of Panga Bay just off Phuket. Let's go to the news. Very quickly, starting with this one. And oh dear, Chiang Mai, the third worst air polluted city in the world today. And in the circle there, the hodgepodge of purple and very, very dark purple, plenty of red as well, which means the air pollution up in that area is horrendous. The arrow pointing to a much cleaner Bangkok as far as air quality is concerned at the moment. And just a quick follow-up to the story of the British man who was hit outside a nightclub in Walking Street, Patia, by the security guard. Fairly clear evidence from the security footage. Let's see what happened. And Cowside English reporting the British tourist declined to press charges against the Thai security guard, with both parties having apologised to each other. That's the situation there in the moments after the British man lying on the ground there in the circle was hit by the man with the arrow pointing to him. That's the security guard. And during the meeting, Sarawat, who's the security guard, apologised to the public, officials and Mr. C for the incident that damaged tourism's image. He explained that before the incident, the tourist was heavily intoxicated. When he attempted to prevent the man from entering the establishment, the British man allegedly kicked him in the groin. So another incident of drunk tourists and aggressive security guards in Patia. Sure, there'll be another one just around the corner. Speaking of alcohol, religious holiday alcohol sales ban stays, except, and this referring to the alcohol sales ban on religious holidays, 24-hour bans when you can't buy alcohol, unless you know someone. And the National Alcoholic Beverage Policy Committee has decided to retain the ban on sales of alcohol on the major religious holidays. This is all the major Buddhist holidays during the year. The committee did agree to allow sales in international airport terminals, entertainment venues, or similar, whatever that means, located in tourist centres. I think you can read into that if you are in a tourist area or similar, that you will be able to buy alcohol on these religious holidays in the future. And the sale of alcohol in hotels, convention halls hosting special national or international events, the Bangkok Railway Terminal, and in chartered train carriages will also be allowed. Good heavens, just imagine doing a train ride in Thailand without alcohol. But, and there's always a but, he also explained the committee's decision will be subjected to public opinion gathering over the next 15 days, the result of which will be sent to the Public Health Ministry for approval before changes in the regulations are returned to the PM for ratification and subsequent publication in the Royal Gazette to bring them into force. And it notes the next Buddhist holiday will be on May the 11th. So you may or may not be able to get alcohol on May the 11th, but it looks like some changes are in the wind, especially in tourist areas or similar. Speaking of tourists, looks like it's fairly busy at the moment. Bangkok Post reporting Thailand records 5.9% rise in foreign tourist arrivals. And that's a 5% increase in arrivals from January the 1st to March the 2nd, basically the first 2 months of this year. And there were 7 million foreign tourist arrivals in the period, including 1.1 million from China. And there's nothing more to that article except they're saying they're expecting 38 million tourists this year. I think they'll probably end up with more than 40 million. The last record was back in 2018 when they received just under 40 million, some 39.6 million tourists. And the more tourists, the more traffic. Patia's traffic chaos reaches new heights, with severe congestion causing frustration for locals and visitors alike. This reported in patiamail.com. And you could very easily replace the word Patia with Phuket or Sukhumvit Road, all suffering very heavy congestion at the moment. And despite the city's popularity as a tourist hub, the constant gridlock has become a pressing issue, affecting both locals and visitors. Recent traffic jams have reached critical levels with no clear solution in sight. And I can say that is the case in Phuket over, the last year. And one local quoted here, Patia City has to find a solution to solve this great traffic problem. For me, it was the last time to join such an event. Even as a pedestrian, you're not safe as motorbikes head along the walkways. And he's referring directly to last weekend. I don't think there was any major events on, just a lot of people and a lot of cars. And the lack of proper infrastructure and effective traffic management has become a major concern, and it's clear that immediate attention is needed to address this issue. Patia's traffic may continue to deter tourists and frustrate residents. A video there from Patia City Notes on their YouTube channel, and all the infrastructure promised for Patia and Phuket, even trying to ease up the congestion in Sukhumvit Road. Nothing really seems to happen. I've been hearing about all these promises of some new traffic management or new roads or new ideas to ease the traffic problem. But literally in the last 10 years, nothing has happened. The tourists keep coming, the problem keeps staying there, and the media will keep reporting it. To this regional story reported in Khalsod English. The head of Myanmar's military government talks with Putin to cement cooperation. Russian President Vladimir Putin was holding talks yesterday with the head of Myanmar's military government, who's seeking to cement cooperation with Moscow as he faces isolation and sanctions from the West. Western nations have ostracised Myanmar's ruling military and imposed economic and political sanctions in response to the takeover and the violent repression of opposition, which has led to the deaths of thousands of civilians and given rise to an armed conflict widely seen as a civil war, and allowed the proliferation of all those scam centres on the border as well. And Russia, along with China, is a major supporter and arms supplier to Myanmar. Russian-made fighter jets are used in attacks on territory under the control of ethnic minority groups, many of which are allies with pro-democracy resistance forces. And where are they buying their munitions? Well, from Russia and China, of course. And a Singapore-based analyst with the International Institute of Strategic Studies says Russia is a key backer of the Myanmar military. In addition to diplomatic and symbolic support, it plays a vital role in enhancing and sustaining the regime's war-fighting capacity. So I'm sure that will spark some commentary. Thank you very much for watching today. Again, thank you to our supporter, 5-Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com. Please support them and you will indirectly support us as well. Beyond that, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.